Patrick Williams has officially been added to trade rumors for the Chicago Bulls, amongst other players on the team such as Alex Caruso, Zach Lavine, and DeMar DeRozan. We're going to talk about Patrick Williams and the potential trade packages, as well as what team is interested in him and how is he looking so far this season. I'm your host, Joey Mercer. This is Bulls Digest, and before we get into it there today, I just want to say that about 95% of you that watch these videos are not subscribed. So if you aren't already subscribed to the channel and you're watching this content daily, make sure to go down below, turn on the bell for notifications after hitting that subscribe button, and each and every single day when we upload, you will be seeing content from us there, notified to your phone. You won't even have to search up for it anymore. And if you love the Chicago Bulls, this is the place for you. Without further ado, let's get into the first topic of today, and that is trade buzz for Pat Will. So there has been a few rumors around the league, as we've talked about a lot here on Bulls Digest, of Caruso being dealt, DeRozan being dealt, and of course Zach Lavine being dealt. We've talked about heavily here, as there's been so many rumors around the trade mill for him. But we haven't talked about Patrick Williams very much because we thought that he was going to be part of the future where he is so young, but he hadn't been performing very well to start the season. These are the reports that I saw on him, and it was in a Sports Illustrated article that we're going to get started on here today. It said that forward Patrick Williams doesn't have a big contract, but according to reports in the past, he may be wanting one. So that was actually a report that came out in the offseason saying that he was looking for triple figures, or he wanted two to start in the deal, but it wasn't going to be $20 million. If that is actually what he wants, that doesn't really make much sense. He had shot the ball very well over the past few seasons, but types of contracts like that are not for players of his stature. It's really for players that have already proven themselves. If you're just basing it on potential, a deal above like $80 million over 4 years for him right now would seem like a lot of money for me. But stranger things have definitely happened in this league, as we saw Jaden McDaniels get a deal that I thought was just outside of the market, when other players of that draft class that have done about the same, if not better, were receiving around, 40, 50, 60, 70 million dollars, and he's receiving over 100, which just seemed crazy in the situation the Timberwolves are in. Although they're playing so well this season, it might have paid off, but at the time, definitely seemed crazy. The next thing that we got there was Chicago feels like their 2020 lottery pick has severely underperformed and is a big reason why this core group hasn't worked out, making them reluctant to pay him. I'm not really sure if that's the fact that they think that he's severely underperformed. He's been really inconsistent, but overall, if you look at the shooting numbers, they're very good, and his defense has been okay, but definitely could have been better. It actually is a little bit below league average, as people consider him a solid defensive player. He's just not there. Sometimes he isn't attacking, isn't being aggressive, but we've seen a different version of Patrick Williams as of late, and especially over the last 4 games as Zach Lavine has been out. The Twitter article that I saw in the Post story was from the Dunk Central, saying the Wizards are believed to be interested in Patrick Williams per Amico Hoops. Interesting there by Dame Carrying doing that artwork there, photoshopping in Patrick Williams in a Wizards jersey wearing the number 0. Uh, I don't know if he'd be wearing number 0. I think that's just defaulted there because that, of course, was Gilbert Arenas' number. But, yeah, very interesting to see that picture there. I'm not really sure if I'd want to call that a big three. It's a trio of players. I guess it would be their 3 best. And he would be joining Daniel Gafford again, as Gafford used to play for the Chicago Bulls, of course. Interesting there, though, that would be the top 3 players. I'm not really sure if the Wizards want to go after that, unless they saw a lot of potential in Patrick Williams. But it could be a good deal for the Chicago Bulls, depending on what we could get back. If we could get Tyus Jones or somebody around there, we might have to add. It might just be a straight 1-for-1 trade where Patrick Williams is young. But it's hard to say there what value that they would have to get back for us. I'd really need to see some more mock trades there. I'd want it to be like Tyus Jones. I wouldn't say that we'd be able to get Bilal Coulibaly, although I think he has a lot of upside potential there. But those would be the guys that I would be most interested in. If you could get like a Kispert plus, that would be something maybe just different look. Could work out for us where we could use somebody at the 3 and Pat Wills had to play kind of like the 4, and it's kind of been all over the place. And I don't really like their power forwards. I wouldn't want to get Danilo Gallinari, as he really is past his prime with all the injuries happening with him. It doesn't seem like it's going to work out for him. And I'm not sure if that's something that I'd want as the Bulls either. The next thing we saw in this is that the trade does make a lot of sense for the Wizards, especially if the Bulls want to salary dump someone like guard Zach Lavine on them. Unless the new front office has completely given up on guard Johnny Davis, who they didn't draft, and want to send him out and give Williams a fresh start in Washington. The former lottery pick isn't a complete loss, and maybe he is worth taking a flyer on, being he is restricted free agent next year with a qualifying offer of $12.9 million. This year, Williams is playing 25 minutes a game and averaging 8 points, 4 rebounds, and a block. Interesting to see there. Yes, Patrick Williams putting up those numbers so far this year. That's about what he puts up. It's okay numbers, and the efficiency has picked up a lot as of late. I would not want to get Johnny Davis if I was the Chicago Bulls. I thought he was great in college, and he doesn't even have the same jumper anymore. He really had a Markelle Fultz-like change in his jump shot, and I can't really recall any serious injury there for Johnny Davis, but he just hasn't been a very good pro so far, and I don't really see a lot of potential there, and that's not a player I'd want to target if I was moving on from Patrick Williams, where he is such a good shooter still, and we're going to look at those stats right away, which brings us to the second topic of how he's performed last season. This season, sorry. Patrick Williams so far this year, when he started out the year, he struggled a lot. He had a lot of games with 0 points, and as of late, that just has not been the case. The first thing that I saw there was the first so many games, the first about month of the season in 16 games, he started 7, he lost his starting job, and he's shooting 33% from the field, 28 from 3 on 3 attempts, 88 from the free throw line, and putting up 6 points, 4 rebounds, an assist, a steal, and a block. Just not very good there. His plus minus is 0.4. Not a whole lot going on for Patrick Williams there to start the year, as he struggled so much. A lot of games of like 0-3, 0-4 shooting from the field, and it kind of seemed like he was just destined to kind of fall off. And he started to lose a lot of minutes, and there's some games where you've seen him play like 12, 13 minutes in the game, and that's not what you'd like to see after a guy that started to start the year and started a lot of games last year as well. But now here we come. The next game after that span, he started against the Raptors, and in 21 minutes he put up, I believe it was 12 points. He played pretty solid, 4 of 8 shooting, and now this is what he's done since November 24th. In the past 7 games, he started 6 of those. 4 of those games were in the wins where Lavine has been out. 31 minutes a game, 58% from the field, and 45 from 3 on more attempts. 56 from the line is a bit rough, but we can take it on only 2 attempts. You'd like to get that a little bit better, but so be it. I mean, the 3-point shooting and field goal have skyrocketed so much you can take it. And look at that, 14 points a game, 5 rebounds, an assist, a steal and a half almost, and a block with only 1 turnover, and his plus minus has gone up to 2.4 positive. That's what you like to see. That's how he's played with Lavine not in, and a few games with Lavine in, even in that big blowout loss to the Celtics where they lost by 27. Pat Will put up 14. He's had a couple 20-point games now in the past 7 games, and that's great to see. He had 20 points last night again, and he has really performed much better, which I think is skyrocketing his trade value as of late. To see when Lavine is not on the floor, and just in the past little bit, when he's given a little bit of a better situation with players around him, he has definitely overperformed what they thought he was going to do, and he's been a great shooter, of course, and if his defense can really get to that top tier that I know he's capable of with those Kawhi comparisons early in his career. Obviously he's not Kawhi Leonard, but the defense can definitely be better than it is, and if he gets there, he is going to be a great 3-and-D player in this league, and that's somebody that, although it was frustrating to start the year, and I expressed my frustrations on that, I can't wait to see perform better, and hopefully we can hold on to him, unless the trade package is really, really juicy. This has been your host, Joey Mercer. Make sure to go down below, comment on the video, like the video. I love to hear from you guys, and make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on the bell for notifications, and I can't wait to see you in the next one. This has been your host, Joey Mercer, signing off.